The Death of the Author. An essay by Roland Barthes. The Death of the Author is a famous essay by Roland Barthes, a French literary critic and philosopher. In this essay, Barthes argues that the author's intention and biography are irrelevant to the meaning of a text. He posits that the author is not the sole originator of meaning. The text is created through a collaborative effort between the author and the reader. Here are some key points of the essay. The author as a source of meaning. Traditionally, literary criticism has emphasized the role of the author in creating a text's meaning. The author is seen as the originator of a text and its ultimate authority. Barthes argues that this idea is flawed because it assumes that the author's intentions are transparent and that their personal history, beliefs, and biases are directly reflected in the text. Instead, the author's intentions are often inaccessible or unclear, and the reader is left to decipher the meaning of the text independently. Barthes suggests that the text is an independent entity with meaning separate from the author's intentions. The text. Barthes suggests that the text should be viewed as autonomous, independent of the author's personal life and context. The text is a product of language and culture, shaped by various influences and factors. Therefore, the meaning of the text is not confined to the author's background or experiences but is created through a collaborative effort between the author and the reader. Intertextuality. Barthes also emphasizes the importance of intertextuality in creating meaning. Intertextuality refers to the relationship between a text and other texts that came before it. Barthes argues that all texts are connected to a more extensive network of cultural and literary references. Therefore, the meaning of a text is not created in a vacuum but is influenced by the cultural and literary context in which it was produced. The birth of the reader. Barthes argues that the meaning of a text is not fixed and is constantly being reinterpreted by the reader. The reader brings their experiences, beliefs, and biases to the text, influencing their interpretation. This means that the reader becomes a co-creator of the text's meaning. The reader's interpretation of the text is as valid as the author's intention. Barthes sees this as a positive development because it allows for greater freedom and creativity in interpreting literature. The death of the author. Barthes' central argument is that the author should be considered dead, because their role in creating meaning should be minimized. This does not mean that authors stop writing or that their works become irrelevant. Instead, it suggests that the author's identity and intentions should not be the primary focus of literary interpretation. Instead, the reader should focus on the text itself and the meaning that they derive from it. The author's death opens up a space for the reader to actively participate in the meaning-making process. Barthes' essay has had a significant impact on literary theory and criticism. It challenged the traditional view of the author as the sole source of meaning and emphasized the reader's role in creating meaning. Barthes' ideas have profoundly impacted literary theory. His concepts of intertextuality and the birth of the reader continue to shape our understanding of the relationship between the author, the text, and the reader. The Death of the Author is considered a key text in the postmodernist movement, which sought to deconstruct the traditional notions of authorship and authority in literature.